Okay folks, welcome back to building bag 3, Lego Star Wars set 9496. We are putting the skiff to the side for the moment, and we're on making these little pieces that will be going on the side of the pit, or the side of the skiff. Unfortunately, I was having a bit of a retard moment, and was doing everything wrong, which is why I had to break off the other video I was doing and start over for these parts. So for step 1, you'll need one of these dark gray L-shaped bricks, excuse me, okay, and I'm flubbing my words now, and a dark brown camera-shaped brick. And what you do is, with the pucker-faced side going, you put the dark brown camera-shaped brick on top of that. So it should look like that on one side, smooth side the other. And then you have a light gray brick for step 2 that looks like this. And you're going to be putting that on top of that like so. So one side looks like this, the other looks like that. Step 3, you have 2 of these dark brown triangular bricks with a rounded side, and you're going to put them on the front like so. Step 4. When you see the turnover thing, that gets a little confusing because you think you're going to flip it over, because that's what it usually means. But in this case, all it means is to kind of flip it like this. And you need one of these dark black 2-prong bricks, and then you also need 2 of these dark gray kind of Harry Potter lantern bricks. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the lantern bricks and put one here, one there, and then you're going to put the black piece on top of it, or on the bottom of them rather. Step 5, you need a smooth dark gray brick, and you need a dark tan rounded piece. And what you do is that you put the smooth piece like that, and you're going to put the rounded piece on top of this square here. So it should look like this. This was where I was getting kind of screwed up for step 6. Step 6, you need a two-part like this, which has kind of a square at the, and then a rounded tube at the other end. And then you need these little 2 of these black swords. And the rounded side of the tube is going to go inside this hole in the back. And then the handles of the swords are going to go into these holes up top. And make sure that the piece in the back is kind of shaped like this so that it can be inserted into the part that it's meant to go into, which is step 30, where you, if you haven't already, flip your skiff over, and you see this piece here, this is going into that area, like so. And so this is how it looks. Pretty neat, huh? Oddly enough, a very difficult part for me in the diagram to figure out. So essentially, we're going to be repeating the same process with the same bricks on the other side. So you've got the little pucker bricks, and you're going to put them on. You just pretty much do the same thing you did. Though I guess you're going to have to, you know, it's how it is when you're doing right and left, to make sure you just have everything on in the appropriate since you're being opposite, you know, it's sometimes easy to have like well, you know, two left, when you draw, sometimes you have two left hands, you have to make sure you kind of flip it enough that, to take that into account, your right and left side. And I'm probably not explaining it very well, but hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, and it's when that we get to this other step that we have to be careful about our rights and lefts. Because if we build it the way we did before, we would do that. We would do it like this, but you see, that would make another right piece. So we want to put, this time we want to put the gray brick over here so that it'll, you know, it'll match this side here. And then we top. That's the only thing I think you're going to have to really worry about. Everything else is pretty much is the same. Oh dear. There. So that's how it should look. Oh, you know what I forgot to put on, though? I forgot to put on those little sword things. Okay. I did forget that. Alright, now that's how it should look. And then for the, well, I don't know if it's the last step or not, because I mean the other step, they have this little thing, this like little light gray torch, and then you have this little dark brown cap, and you put this on top of that, and that, where does that go? Okay. Oh, it goes under there. You see where this tube is here? You slide that in there. Now, so is this supposed to be a projectile? I mean, I don't see anything that, okay. So they're showing you to, you know, you can twist these around. And, oops, I broke a piece. Off. I wasn't sure if one of them was meant to do a projectile. Okay, so that's the skiff, and I'll get everybody on there so you can totally appreciate the scene. Okay, folks, so I'm letting you enjoy what we've built. It's all completed now. And turn over so you can see Luke there, and then Boba's being eaten by the Sarlacc. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, folks. This set was a little harder to put together, oddly enough. All those tiny little pieces, and then some of the things in the diagram I found a little difficult to understand. But it is definitely really a cute piece. I think, you know, I think actually this might be my favorite of all the sets. Of all the, you know, sets. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I plan to put together more sets. Next time I'll be putting together a set from The Walking Dead. It's not, I don't think, associated with Lego. It's called the Fish Tank Room. For anybody that's familiar with Season 3 of The Walking Dead, with the governor and his severed heads and fish tanks and his creepy little zombie daughter. I'll be putting that together. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and stay tuned.